Hello and good evening. My name is Brandon Sauceda, and I'm doing my argumentative presentation on DACA. If you saw a child in the street, cold, hungry, alone, what would you do? Would you just drive by in your sedan, eating a bag of chips? No, I would hope not. DACA is an immigration policy that allows individuals with unlawful presence in the United States to revise a renewable 2-year period of deferred action from deportation, and they become eligible for a work permit. Now, with this being said, DACA is an act written by the Obama administration in the year 2012. It states this: any kind of child that is brought to the U.S. with a parent, the parent obviously, the circumstances are different, but for the child, they can stay under the DACA Act. The DACA Act protects them because if they are here for amount of time after they move from their past country, the United States is all they really know. So in terms, if you take something from its original place and put it in somewhere else, but it's still a young individual, that young individual will grow up knowing that second place, only because memory only serves so well. These kids come over here, sometimes infants, sometimes ranging from 2 to 10 at the least. So whenever they are told that you have to go back to your home country, I don't know Spanish, I don't know English, I only know English. And that's how it works. It's easier to start from bottom to top than to go from top to bottom with the whole heritage thing. To speak freely, a lot of these kids, if they were to go back to their original home, to their original countries, they would know a thing about their heritage. They would know a thing about where to start, the language, the culture, probably most of their families, but that's a whole nother piece of the pie. Family's different. But heritage, language, those are the two hard things. I believe the benefits of having DACA around are we would see a very high influx in cultural heritage, college, education. I think we'd see a lot more people come out of college who are of color than, of white Americans. I believe that we would see a very huge influx in business owners. Business owners would be not only, well, even today, they're not only white, but we would see a very mass growth of Hispanic, African American, Asian, Oriental, heritage business owners. And even we have those today, but they would grow to just huge numbers. I believe that the future starts with DACA. I believe DACA gives us a chance to be a unified, not only country, a unified world. DACA is the first organization to allow people from outside of this country to be given a chance. Being that it's a young chance, only certain things can happen. You have to be under the age of 16. You have to have no felonies, no misdemeanors in the USA, which, come to find out, it's kind of, sometimes it's harder for that to, it's easier said than done. You have to, there's many things you have to do. But the point is, if you live day to day in an American school with American friends, and everything outside of your house is American. So let's say you come over to the U.S. from the age of 2 to 17. Yes, you're growing up in a heritage, culturally known household. But outside of those walls, everything you will come in contact with is American. The way you talk, what you eat, franchises, clothing, all the way around, it's American. The probably the most important and most discouraging part of not having DACA is if we didn't have DACA, these kids, these as little as 3-year-old, 4-year-olds, they wouldn't have anywhere to go. It's not the idea of going back to where they came from. It's an idea of it's too late. A child can grow up in a household talking Spanish and and switch it all up because people tend to retain that kind of knowledge at a younger age, given the fact that they're able to. The household is capable of upholding that heritage. If you hear it every day, it's no problem. If you hear it every day, you're going to learn it, rather than the fact coming out of that heritage, sometimes in some households, being pushed the American way, cut cut the language off, cut the heritage off. That's it. It's the American way from then. So with that being said, these families or these kids have nowhere to go, and I think DACA does a great job at looking out for these individuals. And honestly, just truthfully, it's not a really, it's at the end of the day, it's not even a question of why. It's the question of why not morality. It's who are we to be the people that say no, 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 no. You go over there. This is our thing, right? Where there are people in this world who say I wanna do that. But America is so quick to boot, just so quick to say no. This is our way, not yours. When in fact, isn't this a good thing? People are wanting the American way. So with saying this, it's only moral for us to say yes. Come on in. Which I agree to the fact that not everyone can be in America. We only have so much space. But at the same time, if there are people who want to live here at the end of the day and make a good life for themselves, I don't see why not. We just be that much better of a country. And it starts now. I believe in DACA. I think DACA is a necessity the United States of America should have.